Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Sam, you could have knocked me over today in the show. I had zero idea that your update on you reading your maybe first ever self-help book.
First and last.
And you didn't read it, you listened to it,
I'm still
correct?
listening, yes.
Let Them by Mel Robbins.
The Let Them Theory. Right.
Yeah.
Which I love that you did that. First of all, did you do that because you heard Murphy talking about it? Because Murphy is a self-help, what did you call it?
Self-help junkie.
Junkie. He is.
I am.
He talks about a lot of books, and none of them have interested me.
Right. Well, Jodi gave me that book, and I started reading it, and that's where we just started talking about, I don't remember how it came up in the conversation.
Yeah, I think in just talking about what the book was about, it was like, oh, that sounds like
you could
something
use
right
that.
up my alley. I
You really could, because of all, look,
yeah.
you do, as someone who knows you, we're friends, we've been friends for a long time. Your friends see things in you that you cannot know about yourself. Self-awareness, sure, but your friends see things that you don't. And you do let people and things that happen completely outside of your control really get under your skin. Mm-hmm. We all do. It is a part of the human condition.
Yes.
But we watch you really let it fluster you, Sam.
Yeah.
So
Let Them is a way for me to start learning how to handle that. A nice way, as opposed to the way I used to handle it. I have a different phrase than let them. But like we talked about, it has worked. I mean, it's the weirdest
That's the
thing.
surprise.
There are times when I just, in my head, go, let them.
It does.
And I feel it. I go,
you feel it,
it's
the
like you
stress
drop
of it.
about an inch and like,
it makes me
It's
feel
fantastic.
good to know that you've discovered that. And it just shows you that no matter how much time goes by, because did I mention in the show that this is really a variation on a theme of books? She's not the first to write about this.
That's why I wanted to do this podcast, because Murphy, you've said that before, that even though there's not one book that you've ever read that was the book for you, but you see the theme come up again and again.
Yeah. It's in being a self-help junkie, I've actually read most of these. And because to me, that was really, and you have to continually work at it, by the way, because you're always something's going to happen. You're going to catch yourself reacting, and then you just need to realize what you're saying, right? It's let them at that point. But if you don't ever catch it, your body starts to tense up and you go into that,
handling
fight
it
or
the way
flight.
you used to handle it, as opposed to something new, which is that theory.
Yeah, and I don't think, and I'm not saying it detracts in any way, because I like Mel Robbins' book a lot, and I think variation on a theme is important, because a core message that works over the years is a story that should be retold. That's why movies work the way they do, and remakes and all that. But the very first self-help book that I bought is the same concept, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I bought that book in 1992. And for me, that was the life changer. That was my light bulb moment, like you just had with, Let Them by Mel Robbins. It was the first time that, I understood the concept of, okay, I'm not the epicenter of the world. Therefore, all of the things that happen around me are not things that I need to internalize, many of which I can't control. And then
About control, almost.
And I loved that book. And then it led me to others. But the oldest book that's very similar to Mel Robbins' book came out in the late 1940s, and it's called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And it's by Dale Carnegie. It was Dale Carnegie's second book after How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that book is all about understanding the things that you can control and the things that you can't control.
So that you can be peaceful and happy, at least a little. I mean, it's not that you're always going to be happy, but you're not holding on to things that you have no control over.
It hasn't wiped the slate clean for me, but it's like, okay, now I know, and I can do something about it.
Right. And the Dale Carnegie book, the version that I have is a paperback that, I dog-eared up. It's got highlights. It's got everything.
Loved.
And it's a book that I go every now and then we'll just go back because you need a reminder. It's the same reason that, football teams need constant coaching, because if you learned it once and didn't need coaching again, everybody would be perfect, and no one's perfect. So it's always good to go back and see the message. And this is where you're probably going to start laughing at me now, because I also have Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl was a survivor of the Holocaust.
Oh.
And if you talk about a book where you are able to kind of maintain yourself and your sanity and not let your outside circumstances get to you,
Whoa.
that's why he, retold that story. And it's considered a classic in the self-help
I
world.
wouldn't laugh at that.
Oh, no, I don't mean the content of that. I mean the fact that I own most of these self-help books. That's what I mean.
Believe it. If it's in a self-help section of a bookstore, we have it at our house.
Yeah.
There were times when we have company over and you have a big stack of your books sitting on the end table, I'm thinking, I hope they know that's not my these are not my books. Because like you, Sam, I can't get through. I tried one after meeting you and Murphy, and years in, because I read fiction. When I'm going to take time, usually it's for my enjoyment, not for bettering myself. Nothing wrong with it. To me, I just don't know how you get through it, because I just would get bored with it. Like, this is great information. However, where's the plot?
Well, see, that's the nice thing about these books. You don't have to read them all the way through.
Yeah.
You can read chapters at a time. Imagine if you went to school and you had to read the entire book in 2 days for what you would learn over the course of a semester. You would never retain that.
Correct.
All right. So, because Jodi used to make fun of me for that too. It's like, you buy all these books that you don't ever finish. It's like, well, I go back and I reference them. That's what they are.
It's like a buffet.
Different chapters speak to you in different ways. But it's not just older books that are very similar to, the let them theory. Atomic Habits, which is within the last 10 years.
That's the one I tried to read. I couldn't get through that. I couldn't do it. It's just not my thing. I just need fiction.
Writing style can make a difference, and writing style, can connect with you. But that's James Clear is still at the top of the bestseller list with that book, simply because of what it's life changing for a lot of people about how to really set goals and how to make meaningful change and things that aren't just like sweeping things under the rug, and how do you actually make a real difference in your own life like that. And then there's some books I know that some people have varying opinions on. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Everyone's heard of that book.
Yes.
It's a classic. He was also one of those, gifted speakers. And some people say that one is a little too
out there?
Well, not out there. I guess Pollyanna is the only reference I could think where you're actually, where you see the world as, is perfectly, but it still has really good, nuggets of things to pull from it. And even like the Dale Carnegie stuff. I mean, it reads like a 1940s kind of book. So it's not really, today's languages.
I think if I tried to read Let Them, I probably would have given up. The fact that I'm doing an audiobook and having somebody read it to me, it's
or
like
she's
they're telling
speaking
me a
it to
story.
you.
Yeah.
And it's hers.
And it's like the first 4 chapters, she lays out what the theory is. So if you want to stop there, you got the theory. It's just the rest of the book, she's giving you examples of, how in
situations,
adult friendships, how it would relate.
Correct.
Or, how you deal with adults who are still acting like children and having their tantrums, because that does happen.
Yes, it does.
And just different ways of using the Let Them theory, different ways you can put it into effect in your life.
Fantastic. I pick on you, Murphy, about it, but I acknowledge that this is your lane. It's what you love, and it's fantastic that you get something from it. I do actually love the idea that Let Them is the positive message right now for a new group of whatever generation, people who might jump on it and learn something from it, because it's in a sense it's helping you, therefore making your life better, hopefully giving you a more peaceful existence. And whether someone got that from one of Murphy's books, an older book years ago, great. It will continue to evolve. In 10 years there'll be another book where we're all talking about, and it'll be another sort of catchphrase.
To me it's like having your favorite teachers. When you think of the past, there was some way that the way that they spoke, the way that they taught, that actually really connected with you. And I think that's the way different authors are.
Sure.
It depends on how the message is organized. And, for you, there've been a million of these books. They've never interested you, but for whatever reason, this time in your life, this particular book, it interested you, it grabbed your attention, and really until you're ready to want or receive that message, you're not. It's never going to. You're not going to pick a book up if it doesn't.
Just
resonate.
like one of the chapters in the books, until you're ready to make the change. You can't change somebody; they have to be ready to
Listen
make
to
it.
you preach it.
But here's the other funny part about that, and you and I have both experienced this, Sam, because that's really that's the cornerstone of some things with 12-step. It's understanding the things you can't control, the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference, and letting go. Again, it's all. It just depends on
reframing it.
Yeah, exactly how that message arrives. And everybody has seen the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, you're not?
But I like the title.
I know you do. I'm surprised you didn't pick that one up. That one came out about 8 years ago.
Okay.
The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. I've read that one. I love that one. I know that both of you know this one. This was like the quintessential book of the 90s. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I
But
had
that was a little a collection of little stories, though, which is the only reason. And I maybe read one or two stories.
Yeah. But the examples that came out of those were about like, okay, wait, these things are external.
This matters.
They don't need
this
to impact
doesn't.
me. They shouldn't impact my life personally,
Yeah.
right?
Now, my
Fantastic.
question is, and this is something I found now that I know the let them theory, is how often do you use it? Because for me, I've found it's
Almost all day?
it's almost all day long.
Good.
But that's because of the way I'm also wired to
Yes.
be aggravated
You're
by
wired-
everything or whatever.
You're wired to absorb things, I
guess,
think, Sam,
yeah.
Which
So
is one
I'm-
reason you carry so much.
It's not like I've used it twice a day. It's like I'm using it
Well, that's
So
good.
all the time.
So good.
Yeah, I mean that's healthy. You feel more peaceful, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the other book title because that one maybe make more sense than Let Them.
So Sam is reading or listening to Let Them. What are you reading right now, Murphy? What are you are you reading anything right now? I'm reading a detective novel. What are you reading right now, Murph?
I mean, I'm not
Anything?
reading. I'm not reading anything right this second. I mean, I still have Let Them theory that you get. I haven't
Yeah.
finished it yet, but you gave that one to me.
I just wondered because
And
you
then-
do have a library.
Yeah, and there's a little John Maxwell book. I like him. He's a great leadership,
yeah. The
mentor.
charismatic
He's got
leader.
a bazillion. Yeah.
That one's on the coffee table.
Yeah, he's got a bazillion, books. And what I like about the John Maxwell stuff, for anybody that maybe is just getting into management or leadership, he has his thicker books that go into a lot more detail, but he's broken a lot of them down, just like you saw.
Small.
The charismatic leader kind of winds up being, it's like a pocket book almost. And, it's just got different examples of, and they're very short, easy to digest chapters. I think that he's rewritten a lot of his stuff, honestly, for today and our attention span.
Correct.
That's one reason I love
Correct.
him so much.
So hopefully this podcast serves as a nice little recommendation of Murphy's, library of walk around with you, take with you therapy, self-help junkie that you are. And
Hey, if it works for Sam, it can work for you.
It's a miracle.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.